All right, guys, good evening again. This is just a video to go over last week to review the trading week of last week, beginning on Sunday, October 1st, and ending on Friday, the 6th. All right, so just go over the moves that were there and the moves that we took. So let me just thank God for his blessings. God, thank you again for another opportunity to trade and for another successful week. We ask that as I go through this review, that it will be beneficial to someone and that you all help us with our trading experience, help us all to be better traders and to be committed to the craft. We thank you and we love you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys. So let me go right into it and share the screen. Now, most of you who have started to follow me will notice that I do most of my analysis on, I've started to use the Vantage chart. However, I actually discovered now for the past 2 weeks that for some reason at the beginning of the week, at the end of the week, towards the beginning of the next week, between Friday and Sunday, the charts on Vantage tends to get a little bit screwed up. And when the week has started, it takes a little while to actually get back in sync. So I pretty much do my review on the 100 chart, which is pretty much very similar. It's just, off by a couple 0.02%. So it's not much of a big difference. But this is what I'm actually showing you. If you actually look on the Vantage chart, for example, last week, this is where it actually ended on Friday because I was watching it and I came out of the trade. Now I'm looking at it, for some reason it shifts and it's now showing me Wednesday. So I'm not sure what's happening with that, but doesn't matter. We're just going to keep moving forward. All right. So I'm going to do my review based on the chart and based on the markups that I've had. So we're starting with the week, and I'll just go to my replay and we're going to start the week based on how it was on Sunday night. All right. So as you know, my lines are drawn up and everything like that. All right. So the first thing that I did when I came in on Sunday is, of course, I'm not rushing into any trades anymore. I've stopped doing that. It's all about patience and waiting on the right setup now. So one of the things that I've noticed, what I did notice on Sunday, or when I did my setup, was the price actually came from a high to a low on the 4 hour. Okay, I looked at my bigger time frame, which is not going to be my day, and I noticed that it's at a lower low. So what that basically confirms to me is that the price is now at lows, and because the price is at lows, the market cannot continue to sell from a low. Not to say that the price is not going in a downtrend, because when you look at the monthly, which is the biggest time frame, you'll see that it's coming from a higher high. Okay. It made a higher low, then it made another lower high. Remember, the price moves from high to low. It sells from highs, buys from lows. So because it's coming from a higher high, it's working itself down to make that low. Okay. However, in the meantime, we have to trade what we're actually seeing at that point in time. So right now it's at a high. Yes, the month is supposed to go down to sell. However, we got to look at what the smaller time frames, what the time frames that we're entering on are basically telling us. So when I came in and I looked at my 4 hour, I see that my 4 hour is at a lower high and it's coming from a low. Okay. And I look at my day, sorry, that's 12 hour. When I look at my day is in fact coming from a lower low. All right. So I know that some high needs to actually fall in place. All right. So with that being said, all right, I am not looking to do any trades right now because my rule is I don't come in on lower highs. I just don't. Not to say that there are no sells that are available, okay? But that's just my preference, all right? So for now, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on my setup. So right now I'm waiting for the 4 hour to make a low, which is now going to translate to a low or a lower low on my 1 hour. So I can just go back to my 1 hour and I'm waiting on this trade. It's currently at a higher low. I'm not interested because I don't do higher lows or lower highs. So let's look at how the market started. Okay, did that. Now you see it's at a higher high on the 1 hour. Okay. Now you may say, yes, that would be a good sell for you to take and everything like that. Yes, but again, I always go with the trend that is given to me on the higher time frame. So when I look at my higher time frame again on my 4 hour, my 4 hour is coming from a lower high. Okay. But the major move is coming from a low. So I am actually trading towards the high on my 4 hour time frame. So I'm not interested in taking any sales. I'm just waiting. All right. So back to my 1 hour. So price did that. It pushed down, it sold, came back up, was doing all of that stuff. That's Monday. No trades for Monday. Actually did take some smaller moves on Monday and everything like that, to be honest. Kind of get my feet wet. But the major move of the week, I'm just going to review the major move of the week. Just so you know, let me put that out there. Last week, I made over 500% on my account. No losses. I took 8 trades. No losses. 500% on my account. All right. I just want to put that out there. So now I'm waiting. All right, because I'm waiting on that setup. Now notice, price did all of that. Now it came and it made a low. Okay. Now, this is actually a signal that I used to go in on. Okay. Because remember, I'm tracking towards the high. But am I going to come in right here for this buy? I actually did last week and I had to deal with the retracement. However, the proper way to actually trade this is to look at my 4 hour. And my 4 hour actually did put on the higher low that I was waiting on. So now I'm jumping back to my 1 hour to actually get a better entry for my high. So now I'm on my 1 hour because I already saw what I needed to see on my my 4 hour time frame. Okay. So how am I going to take this move? Well, I can do it one of 2 ways. First is, and you can choose whatever method you want. I draw my fibs, okay, from my high to my low, because I'm tracking my retracement. Remember, I'm going in for my highs, so I'm tracking my retracement, okay, and my entry point is going to be 71%, okay, because NAS likes to retrace to the 61 or 71, 78%. So I am tracking for my retracement. So my entry point is actually going to be at the 78%. I probably put it maybe a little bit higher and everything like that, like right there. So let me just put a, you know, well, I'll do 78% right here. 78%, 14493.3. That's going to be my entry. Okay. So now I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. So it's Monday, Tuesday. I'm still waiting. So this is what price did. Came down, pushed down. Now at 61%, pushed down to 61%, shot up. I'm not interested in that. I'm still waiting. Now we're into Wednesday. I have not taken a trade yet. Okay, based on that setup. Okay. Boom. That's what happened right there. Let me just pull the fibs over so that we can see exactly what happened. Okay. 78%. Okay. I put an order limit right here. That's where my order would have been picked up and everything like that. Now I'm just waiting for price to go back in the direction that I want it to go. All right. So price did that. It came down. Boom. I'm immediately in profit. after that retracement is over. Now, where am I tracking for my take profit to be? I am now tracking for my take profit to be on a high. Okay, market needs to come up to make highs, because remember, I'm trading towards the current trend on the 4-hour, which is it's going from a low to a high. All right, so this fibs is actually no longer useful to me, so I'm done with that because I got my entry. All right, so this is what price did that continue going up. Okay, continue going up, and I'm waiting for that high. Okay, once I get a high, I'm out of the trade. Okay, okay, boom. This is where the high came on. So I'm out of that trade. So actually, as a matter of fact, if it came up and it made this lower high right here, my take profit is actually going to be right here at this point. That's where my TP would have been, like at 148.42. Yeah. So as soon as price came back and picked up my TP, I'm out. Now I'm not going to be taking any sells because I'm not taking sells in this market. I'm tracking for the highs. So I would go on my 4-hour and I look at how this high affects my 4-hour. And this high should actually put a lower high on my 4-hour time frame. So let's go over and check. On my 4-hour, yes, in fact, that's a lower high. It's still not the high that I'm waiting on. So basically, my bias is still going to be towards highs. Now, the fact that the market made a lower high on the 4-hour, which is now a segmented high on my 1-hour, it means that I am no longer going to stay in this trade. I'm going to take my profit and I'm going to exit and I'm going to wait for another buy setup before I can go in. So let's look at this move, this first move, and we'll see how many pips. Now remember, I only need 2,500 pips in order to double my account based on my lot size that I use and based on my my formula that I use to calculate my lot size. Okay, I risk 30% of my account each time when I trade. Okay, I'm not telling you to do that. That is my strategy. All right, so let's mark it. So we come from here. In that case, I would need to put my fibs to actually get my actual entry. I'm sorry. Let's go back here. Okay. So my entry would have been at the 78.6% line. Okay. So my entry would have been 1499.38. And then my take profit would actually be right at this line here, which is 148.25.6. All right, let's calculate the pips. So we'll go here. Oh, sorry, from 78% line. And here, looking at the first trade of the week, which would give us 3,200 pips. Okay, 3,200 pips. Now let's do calculations. Let's say, for example, my account balance was $250. Okay, $250. So I'm going to do a text box. Right, so $250. Okay, so if I'm using $250, my lot size would be a 0.01. So my lot size would be a 0.01. All right, that's my lot size. Okay, if I'm using a $250 balance. Okay. Now, again, I repeat, I'm not telling you to do that because I will say to you, it's a very risky strategy. You have to understand this strategy in order to utilize that for your own purposes. All right. All right. So So a 0.01. Now, in terms of the pips that we just got, that would have been, I don't remember the amount. So it would have been from here to here. So 3,200 pips. Okay. So let's work that out. Okay. So 3,200 pips. A 0.01 is going to convert to 10 cents per pip. So it's a 0.1 times 3,200 is going to be equal to $320. So that first trade, okay, would have been $320 plus your balance, which is $250. The plus sign. Your balance is now $570 from one trade. All right. The $570 is now going to be your new balance. Okay. My new lot size will now be a 0.02. Okay. So my new lot size with that balance is now going to be a 0.02. So from one trade, just by waiting until Wednesday, okay, one trade actually gave me a new balance of $570 coming from $250 starting. Okay. All right. So now that we did that, we got this, we can be done with this. Okay. Now, going back to what I was saying, in terms of the 4-hour time frame, 4 hours at a lower high, but I'm tracking for a high. Okay, I'm trading towards a high. So a lower high, I'm not going to be taking the sell, although it is at a segmented high right here. I'm not interested in taking the sell. All right, I'm going to be waiting. All right. So what we'll do is that we are now looking to see where the price is going to be going so I can get another entry. Now, when you look at the 4-hour, let me move this over here. All right. The 4-hour is actually at a lower high. I'm going for a high. Now, if I'm going for a high and the price is here at a lower high, I cannot be going in for a buy right here. I need to wait for the price to come back so that I can go in for a buy. I cannot buy from a high. I have to sell from a high. All right. So that's where the price is. So we're back on the 1 hour and I'm waiting. All right. So with that being said, because it made a high, right, my fibs has expired. So I'm no longer using those fibs. What I'm doing now is that I'm waiting for the retracement in order to be able to get in for my next trade. Now, this is actually the biggest trade that I took this week, because up until this point, I took a total of 6 trades. Because I did take some of the sells and everything like that. And, but I was really tracking towards that high. I was experimenting with my strategy, doing some stuff, but I was still trading safe, getting in on highs, coming out on lows, and vice versa. So now I want to be able to get in on a low so that I can be able to go to a high. All right. So I'm tracking. Now, basically what happens now is that NAS always likes to retrace to the 61% or the 78%. All right. That's what I have discovered over the years of tracking NAS. So I'm waiting. All right. So price did that. It came down, it made a low, and somebody will say, well, why wouldn't you have taken that trade? Well, a number of reasons. Okay. It broke right here. It's at the 38%. I don't enter trades on my 38%. 38%, price can either shoot this way or it can shoot this way. So I don't enter trades on my 38%. Not interested. Waiting for price to either come here or come here. These are the two support and resistance points right here that I'm looking at. This 1 hour, right here with this red candle in between, right here with this red candle in between. Falls right on my 61.8%. So I'm waiting. This is what price did. It's now at my 61.8%, one of my target points. I go to my 4 hour and I check. I'm still not interested because the last registered point on the 4 hour was a lower high, and I cannot take trades from a high. It has to say low. So I'm not interested. So I go back and I'm still waiting. All right. I go back on my 1 hour. This is what price did. Price did that and it bought up, and you're like, damn, price is starting to go up and it's going up from the 61%. It's okay. I'm waiting on my setup. I'm looking at my 4 hour again, still at a lower high. I cannot take a buy from a high. It has to be from a low. All right. So price did this. And all that this price was doing on Thursday, was it was baiting all the buyers to get in at a wrong point, okay? And they would panic, okay? And then the banks would basically take your liquidity. Take you out with liquidity. So it bought up for about 4 hours on Thursday. Nice buy, okay? I did not go into that trade because I was waiting for my setup, okay? At market close, price did that, everything, it consolidated overnight, all of that. Friday was going to be NFP day, all right? So that made it even worse. I was not interested in going in for any buys until I got my setup. And my setup point is either going to be 61% or 78%. However, all my time frames need to correlate and say that they're coming from some sort of a low. Okay? So I'm waiting. So the price did that. Okay. And now we are at 4 a.m. That's 5 a.m. 6 a.m. 7 a.m. Okay. And then NFP is going to come out. NFP is going to come out at 8:30. Okay. So this is where we're at. This is 7:30 in the morning. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then we have 8:30. Now here is what is interesting. Okay. 8:30. Look at what price did. Price fell. It came and it took out all of this liquidity that it created on Thursday evening. Came right down to my 78% mark. It's exactly what price did. Right down there. Now, this is a trade that I took on Friday. All right. Now, remember, we're tracking our $250. I just want to show you how much money you have made, right? Just by waiting on the right setups and not. I took 8 trades last week and I made 500% of my money. Okay. Look at what's happening now. This is where my next entry was at 145.34.6. Okay. Check on my 4 hour. I will see it finally put on a higher low. Okay. Which is consistent with what I'm trading towards because I'm tracking towards a high on the 4 hour. And it has been making higher lows ever since it made this low back on Wednesday, September 27th. Okay, it's making higher lows. So I'm tracking towards that high. All right. So now I got my signal. No price came down and it hit my 78%. Now I'm in the trade. Okay. Now let's look and see what happened. All right. For the rest of Friday. That's what price did. Okay. Price kept doing that on Friday. Okay. Price did that on Friday. Now you're at a high. Okay. Now, I actually came out at this point on Friday because it was Friday and I did not want to, kind of wait, and stuff like that for the weekend and everything. So I came out here on Friday. All right. But my ultimate take profit on Friday was, let me see if I find that amount. I had it somewhere here. I posted it in a group. On Friday, my take profit. 1 second, bear with me 1 second. All right. My take profit would have been, let's see, come on. Trying to find where I put it. Okay. Would have been 152.57.65. So my ultimate take profit is going to be 152.57.65. All right, that's my ultimate take profit right there. But because it was Friday and because it was 12 o'clock, I came out of that trade. All right. Now let's measure to see where we were at. Came in at 78%. And exited on right here at minus 27%. That's another 3,847 pips. 3,847 pips. Okay. Let's calculate that. So my lot size is now a 0.02. Let's bring this back over here. I can type that in. So my lot size is now a 0.02. And my balance is now 570. And my pip count, let's measure that again. My entry was at 78%. And the exit was at the minus 27%. That's 3,828 pips. So 3,828 times 0.2. That's 765.6 plus your balance, which is $570. That's now $1,335.60. That would be your new balance after those only 2 trades on the week. Okay, so that would be $570 plus sorry guys, my math is a little bit bad here tonight. So that would be 765.6. That's now going to be equal to 1,335.60. 1,335.60. Right? So with just those 2 trades, okay? Let's see, $250 plus, come on, $250 plus. At 400%, you'd have been at $1,250 at 400%. Okay? At 400%. Now remember, I told you I took 8 trades last week. All right. But just taking those 2 trades, okay, you'd have been at $1,335. And remember what our starting balance was? Starting balance was $250. Now, if you want to work out the exact percentage, what we'll do is it's the $250. Let me see, yes. There's 1,335 minus $250. So you actually made $1,085 on your money. So it would be $250 divided by 108. Sorry, 1,335.6 minus 250. That's 1,085.60. 250 divided by 1080.60 divided by 250 times 100. So you'd have actually made 432.24%. So 432.24%. Let's work it back. The starting balance was $250 plus 432.24%. 1,330.6. Yeah, in the region. All right. So 432%. Look, if you made 100% on your money, you'd have been at $500. I mean, I don't know many traders who are actually doing that. 400% from those 2 moves. Now, here's the important thing about that. The move actually continued. I mean, I came out early, but the move continued. This is actually where it ended on Friday. So you could have come out right there. You'd have gotten an additional, if you stayed with the move, I don't know if anybody held it over the weekend. But if you stayed with the move, you would have actually ended with another 900 pips to your total right there. So that was actually, I mean, it was a very simple and clean week. Now, I will say to you that I know that there are a number of people who are still tracking for a sell on this market. Now, I will say to you, the overall trend right now, based on the monthly time frame, and I will show it to you again, is in fact a sell. There's no question about that, because it's now going to work itself down to make a low. However, the market cannot sell unless it is selling from some sort of a high. You notice that the day is making a lower high right now, okay? However, if you look at the bigger time frame, which is the weekly, it is coming, let me take these lines off, it is coming from a higher low, okay? But there is no high that has been registered. So this market cannot sell until the highs have been completed. And the other thing that you need to understand also, right, is that this is coming from a high, okay? It came down and it made some sort of a low. Remember, each time the market makes one type of low, it has to come back to make another type of high. All right, so no 2 ways about that, okay? So right here, this is in position for a sell, okay? The 4 hour is in position for a sell. The 1 hour is in position for a sell. However, going back up the line, your day is in position for a sell. However, remember, it's lows to highs or lower lows to highs. Now, this low came, it made a lower high, then it sold, it made a lower low. This lower low came up, it made a lower high. However, you need that high in order for it to sell. And when you look at the next time frame over, it is currently sitting at a low, so it cannot continue selling from a low point. You have to wait for that reset. All right. So that was basically it for last week. I mean, nothing crazy. You know, two very good moves. Market is still buying. We're still waiting for it. However, I will not be going into a trade until I get my setups. So that's it. I mean, I'm just waiting when the market opens. There's absolutely no rush. I'm just waiting for my setups. You know, like I said, you can get one good trade for the week and double your money, and that's okay. If you had $1 million, you'd have made $2 million last week. If you had 100,000, you have made 200,000. If you had $100, you know, you'd have made $200. You know, so on. It doesn't get easier than that. So, with that being said, God, we just thank you again for your blessings, and we thank you again for this ability to trade. And we just ask that you just continue to bless us as traders. Be it anyone watching this video, help us to have a better week than we did last week and continuously improve. We pray. Amen. All right, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you again shortly.